Sierra! I know it's been a while, but how have you been? Are you doing well? Who is this? Don't tell me you forgot about your own mother. Huh? My mom? I heard from your Aunt Eleanor that you finished college and got a job. From Aunt Eleanor? Yeah, but don't get mad at her. I pretty much forced her to give me your number. She didn't want to, but I made her do it anyway. I know it might be too late to say this to you, but I really want to see you again. Now, after all this time, after you turned your back on Dad and me, and never once spoke to either of us in all these years, do you think you can just message me out of the blue like this? I didn't turn my back on you two. I just fell in love with someone else. You're an adult now, so you should be able to understand. You can't stop love. You fell in love with someone else? Not only did you cheat on Dad, you stole all of his savings and left without saying goodbye to either of us. You abandoned us and left us with nothing. Don't say it like that. I needed that money for my new life. Don't you think you should have relied on that new guy to provide for you instead of stealing from us? You caused nothing but problems for Dad and me. I can't believe my own mom would do that to us. Hey, I only took what I was entitled to. If I would have divorced your dad, I would have still gotten half, right? I left your dad the house. All I took was the money in the bank. It would have worked out the same either way. Oh, is that so? Because the house wasn't paid for. You mean you left him the mortgage on the house and took all his money? You only ran away because you knew Dad would sue you for compensation money for cheating on him. You wouldn't have gotten half. You would have gotten sued. You're a liar and a thief. I hate you. I don't want to see you. Sierra, don't say that to me. I was worried about you the whole time. I just didn't have the courage to contact you again. Until now. Well, I never wanted you to contact me again. Whether you were worrying about us or not, Dad and I did just fine without you. In fact, we were happy without you. Sierra, please, don't say things like that. Let me see you again, just one last time. I want to see your face again. That's all I'm asking for. Please. I don't know. I can't give you an answer right now. This is all too much for me right now. I understand. Me messaging you out of the blue and asking to see you again like this. Will you at least think about it? Please? I'll message you again in a few days, when you've had time to think. Sierra, what do you think? Have you had enough time to think about it? Yeah. Does that mean you'll let me see you again? I guess. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. But this doesn't mean I'm forgiving you. Dad said it might be my last chance, so if I wasn't totally against it, it might be a good idea. Oh, yeah. Your dad. I heard his father passed away not long ago. Yeah, and Grandma passed away years ago too. I'm all he has left now. So Dad figured if I wanted to see you again, I should do it before it's too late. I heard your grandpa passed away just over 2 months ago, huh? How's your dad taking it? Is he okay? He was really sad for a while, but he's doing much better now. I'm glad he's doing better. If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. No, we're fine. So, did your dad say anything about me? No, not really. I was just wondering if maybe he wanted to see me again too. I highly doubt that. Wait, are you saying you want to see Dad again? Well, I mean, if it's possible. I really want to apologize for what I did to him all those years ago. I don't think Dad cares about that anymore. We've all moved on. You don't need to worry about apologizing to him. Hey, Sierra. Do you think your dad and I could ever reconcile? Huh? Please. I know I cheated on him in the past. But I've realized after all these years of searching that there's just no better man than him. What? Nobody asked you to try looking. Just ask him for me. See what he says, okay? No way. Was telling me that you wanted to see me again just your way of trying to get back with Dad? I can't believe you. You can forget about me ever meeting up with you. But why? I'm not stupid. You just wanted to use me so you could try to get back with Dad. On second thought, I don't want to see you again. Ever. Goodbye. Sierra, where are you? Why haven't you come home yet? What? What do you mean? I'm waiting outside your house for you or your dad to come home. But your dad hasn't come home yet either. Are both of you working late tonight? Are you doing overtime? If you're where I think you are, you're standing outside of an empty house. Huh? Dad and I moved out of that place. What? Why? When? Actually, it wasn't that long ago. Dad took an early retirement. He bought a small house out in the country. He's loving it there. And I don't live with Dad anymore. I've got my own place. What? But there's no way your dad could have had this house paid off by now with his salary. He didn't use the inheritance he got from his dad to buy a new house, did he? He must have just gotten that inheritance too. I can't believe he blew it already. What a waste. What do you mean, what a waste? It's Dad's money. He can do whatever he wants with it. No, he can't. I was going to remarry him. What? What are you talking about? It's bad enough you tried going to his house without speaking to him first. But why would you think he'd even consider taking you back? Well, I never told you, but after I left your dad, he messaged me. He begged me to come back to him. He said he'd wait for me as long as it took. Oh, really? And you think he's still waiting for you? You don't even have his contact information. Well, I'm assuming things happened and he had to buy a new cell phone at some point. It's all just bad timing. But I know he still loves me. Well, he did get a new cell phone with a new number, but that was years ago. But I'm sure he's still waiting for me. Hoping. So, where did your dad move to? Can you give me his address? And did he happen to mention how much he had to pay for this new house of his? I guess it's possible he didn't use his inheritance to buy a house in the country. If he sold this one and bought a smaller one, he probably still has lots of money left over, right? He probably didn't have to use any of his inheritance, right? Now I see. I see why you messaged me after all these years. I wasn't sure at first, but now it's as clear as day. You're just after Dad's money again, aren't you? No, of course not. Yeah, right. You've done nothing but talk about money this whole time. Well, we'll need some money to start our new life together, but that's the only reason I'm curious. We have to manage our money properly to make sure there's enough for our future. Well, you don't have to worry about that. You're not married to him anymore, so his finances have nothing to do with you. And besides, Dad's already remarried. What? You're kidding! It's true. He married a beautiful younger woman years ago. They're really happy together. Sorry, but there's no room for you in his house. Years ago? I can't believe this. There's no way any woman would want to marry that man. He's not very good looking, and he had a kid. Mom, didn't you just say that there's no better man than my dad? Well, I'm capable of seeing his inner beauty, but other women... If you could see his inner beauty, you never would have left him in the first place. I'm telling you, the only reason that woman married your dad is for his money. I'm sure of it. That's the only reason any woman would marry an older man. I think you're assuming every woman is like you. His wife's a nice person. Don't try to make her out to sound like you. What do you mean? Look, Sierra, I'm gonna come clean with you. Your mom's in a lot of trouble right now. Why? Because you found out Dad won't remarry you? See? You only ever think of yourself. That's not true. What I mean is, I'm in a lot of debt right now. I have to pay back $25,000 by the end of this month. If you're coming back looking for money, I can only assume the guy you left Dad for kicked you to the curb long ago. Ha! That's too bad. I wish you all the best with that. Bye! Hold on a minute. You've got a job now, right? You've probably got a little bit of money saved up, huh? When we meet up to talk, do you think you could bring it for me? And you probably got something left to you when your grandpa died, right? Could you bring that for me too? If I can't come up with this $25K by the end of the month, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble. You're really something, aren't you? Do you think I have any intentions of meeting up with you after everything you've told me? What little feelings I had for you when you first messaged me are completely gone now. If you got yourself into that much debt even after stealing all my dad's savings, get yourself out of it. Are you just going to abandon your mom? You abandoned us first. Dad and I are both happy without you in our lives. If you really care about us, you'll never contact us again. And what exactly is so great about your lives? If that dad of yours is with a younger woman, that's just disgusting. I don't know what that woman is thinking if she wants to be with your dad. This is all ridiculous. What are you talking about? Dad fell in love with someone new. You know what that's like, right? After all, it was you who said, "You can't stop love." I don't know how she managed to do it, seeing as she was in so much debt. But my mom hired a private detective to track down my dad. Once she got his address, she showed up at his new house. She started accusing my stepmom of just being after my dad's money. She even tried to throw my stepmom out of my dad's house. But the instant she put hands on my stepmom, my dad called the police, and my mom was arrested. My dad, my stepmom, and I all had a restraining order placed on my mom. Her entire reason for coming back around was just to get money from my dad. Our whole family, as well as my mom's side, knew exactly what she had done to my dad and I when she left us all those years ago. So none of her relatives cared to help her out of her current financial situation either. I guess because she couldn't find anyone to pay off her debts for her, she decided to just run from them instead. Nobody has seen or heard from her since the incident at my dad's house. For a while, we all felt like she might pop out of the shadows again at any minute. But things have been quiet for a while now, and we hardly think about it anymore. But if she ever does show up again, you can bet we'll make full use of our restraining orders.
Julia, do you have a moment?
Yes, Mother. I'm on my work break right now, so it's fine. Is there something you need?
Actually, it turns out that and is getting a divorce and is moving back here, and her boyfriend, Ethan Davis, will be coming along as well.
What? And is getting a divorce? And she has a boyfriend. What?
Yes, it seems her husband found out about her affair. It's quite unfortunate.
Wait a minute.
But it seems that things are serious with Mr. Davis, so they're planning to return together with marriage in mind.
So you're saying that Ethan Davis was Anne's affair partner? Is that why she's getting divorced?
Well, sometimes things like that happen. Life is unpredictable.
I'd think a married person should know better than to let that happen.
A parent's job is to support their child's love life, even if it involves infidelity.
But,
Enough with the nitpicking. Can't you get to the point?
wait, we weren't on the main topic yet?
The truth is, Mr. Davis, for reasons, he is currently unemployed.
What? And was a homemaker before the divorce, wasn't she? So you're saying they're both unemployed?
That seems to be the case. So, I decided to have them live with us starting tomorrow.
What?
Since you, Julia, have a high-paying job at a major corporation, we decided you'll be responsible for their living expenses for the time being.
Excuse me?
Since neither and nor her boyfriend Mr. Davis have jobs, you'll have to cover their living costs, Julia.
What? Why me? I can't agree to that. I can't have them living with us.
I didn't ask for your opinion. As the head of this household, I've made this decision. Just do as you're told.
Excuse me, head of the household?
You're Mark's wife, so you have a duty to support our family.
I think I'm already doing enough to support the family. Adding more dependents to our household would surely put us in a difficult financial situation.
But Anne is my daughter, and Mr. Davis might become my son-in-law.
I don't mind if they get married, but I don't think I should have to take care of their living expenses and housing.
Do you want to get a divorce from Mark? Mark is my son, after all, so he would definitely agree with what I'm saying.
Mark is not like that. I'll talk to him tonight.
Well, there's no point in talking about it now. Starting tomorrow, it's settled that Anne and Mr. Davis will be living with us.
Mark, I need to talk about something quite serious while you're away on business.
Julia, what happened? Is everything okay?
This afternoon, I heard something from your mother. Apparently, Anne got divorced because she was cheating and is returning here with her affair partner named Ethan Davis. And they seem to intend to live with us starting tomorrow.
What? Seriously?
Yes, seriously. Moreover, your mother is insisting that I should pay for their living expenses.
What's that all about? Unbelievable. Simply unbelievable.
I know, right? I tried to refuse, but she wouldn't hear of it.
By the way, what's this about and being divorced for infidelity? I never heard anything about my sister behaving so outrageously before.
I was just as surprised when I got the message this afternoon.
Well, our mother adores Anne, regardless of how wrong it is by societal standards. She's like, well, it's Anne, so it can't be helped. Or, Anne is special so it's okay. This is seriously frustrating, considering we're the ones who should be reprimanding her.
Mark, you've had a tough time, haven't you?
Yeah, kind of. Our divorced father also used to sigh all the time.
I see.
By the way, is the name Ethan Davis correct?
Huh?
I feel like I've heard that name somewhere.
Assuming your mother, who is the source of this information, isn't mistaken, it should be correct.
Alright, it's been bothering me, so I'll look it up. It might not be someone directly related to me, but it could be a friend of a friend or something.
Okay, let me know if you find out anything.
Sure thing. Well then, I'll try confirming with some of my friends right away.
Yeah, please do. Mother. Hello, where are you right now?
You're so noisy. I'm out having dinner with my friends right now. Why?
Isn't back with her boyfriend, Ethan Davis?
Ah yes, those two arrived this afternoon. Have you met them yet?
Met them, you say. The two of them are canoodling in my room. And their stuff is occupying my entire room. All my things. They've been tossed out in the yard. What the hell is going on here?
I gave Julia's room to them. That's why I put all your things out in the yard.
Isn't that just way too presumptuous?
This is all because you refuse to pay for their living expenses.
What?
If you don't agree to provide for their living expenses, I'll have to ask you to leave.
No matter what you say, I won't agree to that. I did not consent to living with Anne and her boyfriend, and I will certainly not be paying for their living expenses.
Well, then I'll leave your things out in the yard. They might get wet if it rains. By the way, wasn't there a forecast for rain tonight?
Why are you being so condescending? Have you forgotten your place in this house?
Isn't that a question for you, Julia? As a daughter-in-law, you have no right to defy us, the family into which you married.
Is that so?
Well, if you declare that you'll pay for Anne and her boyfriend's living expenses, I don't mind if you live in the shed in the yard. For you who has no parents or siblings, and nowhere else to go, it's better than being kicked out of this house, isn't it? You should listen to what I, your mother-in-law, am saying, or else leave this house. Choose one.
Mark, on your way home now?
Yeah, I'm on the train. How's everything over there? As planned, Anne and Ethan Davis have been staying at home since yesterday, right?
Yep, they've even taken over my room.
What, taken over?
When I got home from work, all my belongings were literally thrown out into the yard. When I protested to Mother, she said if I would pay for Anne and Ethan's living expenses, she would let me keep my stuff in the garden shed. If not, she said I could leave.
Really? My own mother. It makes me wonder if she's okay in the head. I apologize for my troublesome mom.
It's not your fault, Mark.
Where were you last night, by the way? I hope you didn't spend the night in the shed.
No, I stayed at a business hotel. I rented a truck and put the stuff that was thrown out in the yard in a storage facility.
I see.
Sorry for not getting in touch sooner. I was tired from moving and fell asleep.
No worries. By the way, where's the hotel you stayed in?
It's about a 6-minute walk from Station A.
Then, can we meet at the south exit of Station A? I found out who Ethan Davis really is, and I want to report it.
Really?
I have to go back to the office after I get off the train, but I've been told I can leave after I've given my trip report. I was thinking of meeting up in about 2 hours.
Got it. Is it okay if I wait under the stairs at the south exit of Station A?
Under the stairs. Got it.
See you later then.
Alright, see you in 2 hours.
Mark, thanks for the update earlier.
Hey, Julia.
It was a shocker, wasn't it? Ethan Davis, he's a real piece of work.
Indeed, when I remembered what my friend told me, I was like, whoa.
For tonight, I'll be staying at the business hotel again.
Okay, I'll join you as soon as I'm ready.
Julia, have you made up your mind yet?
What?
Stop sulking in the shed and pledge to cover Anne and Ethan's living expenses.
No matter how many times you say it, I'm not agreeing to cover their living expenses, nor do I intend to.
You have to listen to what I say. I'm your mother-in-law. If you don't consent soon, I'll make Mark divorce you.
Mom.
Oh, Mark, just in time. Could you also convince Julia to pay for Anne and Mr. Davis's living expenses?
We've already left the house, haven't we?
What?
You must have noticed that Julia's stuff has already been moved out. I also moved all my stuff out of my room overnight, and I'm with Julia now.
What? Where have you gone?
I can't tell you that. We've decided to cut ties with you.
Cut ties? Why would you do such a thing?
Because you've been mistreating Julia. She's my precious wife. I can't just let it slide.
I didn't mistreat her. Julia has been defiant towards our family, and she wouldn't accept Anne and Mr. Davis. I was just making her understand our position and persuading her.
Do you know who Ethan Davis really is, Mom?
What do you mean, who he really is? He's Justin's boyfriend.
No, he's not. Davis is the man who stole my friend's wife.
What?
And he's also been involved with several other married women. As a result of being sued for over $70,000 in damages, he's in debt.
In debt?
That's the result of my investigation when his name rang a bell. There's a high possibility that Anne is aware of what kind of man Davis is. And she might have brought him to our house to hide him from debt collectors.
There's no way Anne would do something like that.
And are you saying that your savings could be targeted? Don't you think you should check right away? Remember you told Anne about the money you received from Dad's estate and keep at our home.
Oh, yeah, kept in cash at home for my retirement? I thought it would motivate me to see the money growing.
But what if Davis heard about it from Anne?
What?
What about your retirement savings? Are they okay?
My retirement savings, my chest of drawers. There's no way. Julia, help me.
What's up?
I just found out that my $20,000 mattress savings for my retirement is gone.
What?
When I asked Anne and Mr. Davis, they said, we splurged it as a celebration for moving in together.
That's terrible.
Julia, help me.
Isn't it odd that you're asking me for help? Instead, wouldn't it be more meaningful for you to urgently find work?
But Julia, I'm Mark's mother. You should feel indebted to me, who chose to live with you.
Well, there's something I've been wondering about. What do you mean by choosing to live with you and being indebted?
Well, since you don't have any parents or siblings, I'm living with you as a surrogate mother, letting you fulfill filial duties.
True, my parents are deceased, and I don't have any siblings as an only child. However, I'm fully employed and earning a living. If I rent a house, I can easily create a home. And that home I rented happens to be the house I was evicted from.
What? You mean you're the tenant, Julia?
That's right. Did you forget our conversation? I've been renting a house since I was single, and then Mark, who married me, moved in. And 2 months later, Mark's divorced father lost his home, and his mother brought a moving company one day out of the blue and just moved in.
Oh, really?
As we continue the story, if I, the tenant, leave, it means canceling the lease.
So,
the end of this month is the eviction date, so please let Anne and Mr. Davis know to prepare to leave as soon as possible.
This is a problem. Where are we supposed to go? Even the $20,000 for retirement is gone. And I had no idea Mr. Davis was such a terrible man. Julia.
It's too late. Goodbye.
Julia.
First about Ethan Davis, Mark's friend. Leaking the info to a man whose wife was taken by him resulted in quick completion of notifications to all relevant parties. The next day, a black wagon took him away somewhere, and for some reason, and was taken along as well. Since the debt payments are being made reliably every month, it seems safe to assume things are okay for now. As for the mother, having lost her home and provider, she finally realized her cornered situation. She managed to get a job at a place where she could secure her living needs as a live-in worker. But she's been causing a lot of trouble, like ordering around coworkers who are younger than her. And she doesn't seem to be aware at all that her countdown to being fired has already started.